February the 9th, 2023, and this is my 321st video since the fake pandemic, the COVID fraud, and the designer war started and began us on our long journey into the new abnormal and the Great Reset. This is, I believe, the most important video you'll ever watch because it shows without any reasonable doubt that Joe Biden, the American president, accelerated the designer war between Russia and Ukraine, which has now become World War III, with America, the EU and the UK supplying tanks to attack Russians, and a German minister admitting that we are at war with Russia. Moreover, America, the EU and the UK are deliberately pushing us remorselessly towards the world's first and probably last nuclear war. Your life depends on knowing what I'm going to tell you and on doing something about it, sharing the video with everyone you know and demanding that your government resign. Everyone who has supported the war in Ukraine with money, flags, badges and so on has been helping to lead us into a nuclear war. Everything they've told you about Ukraine is a lie. The plot to start this war began in 2014 when America and the European Union, of which the UK was then a fully paid up member of course, helped overthrow a democratically elected government in Ukraine. Former President Obama admitted in 2015 that the US had been involved in replacing the democratically elected government and offering the incoming government, now headed by Zelensky, billions of dollars in aid. There are plenty of statues too and much support for Nazi collaborator Bandera. Look him up. The US wanted a puppet regime on Russia's doorstep as a launch pad for a planned NATO war with Russia. That was 2014. Obama, who was unbelievably awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, was of course responsible for much of the killing and destruction in Afghanistan. The current war in Ukraine started in 2014 but escalated in February 2022, and by then the Americans under Biden had already begun to get involved. In January 2021, a year before Russia was reported to have invaded Ukraine, the Americans had their eyes on the conflict and there was open talk of halting the Nord Stream pipelines. Biden, you'll remember, became the 46th US president in January 2021. Before Russia invaded Ukraine, Biden warned, quote, "If Russia invades, then there will be no Nord Stream 2, we will bring an end to it." That's on record. The Nord Stream pipelines were set up by Russia to transport cheap Russian gas to Germany and the rest of Europe, and the Biden administration wasn't happy about this. Biden and his advisors had several objections.